Hi, I'm Todd from Apex Base. Today I'm going to show you a few packing techniques of how you can control your slider both directly and indirectly. Let's go take a look. I've already got the canopy packed in a standard Pro pack. Got it on the ground obviously. We're going to pull the slider up. I want to make sure that the slider rings in this case, or grommets, are tight to the bottom of the stabilizer. We don't want these grommets to be down here or just close to the stabilizers. We want them touching. This will help control the opening. The slider's here to reef the system, to reef the opening parachute, so we want to make sure we get that slider in the proper place. All the fabric that goes between the front and rear grommets should go off to the side, kind of in between that stabilizer. Okay? And I'd like to show direct control right now. Before I can do that, we have to make sure that we have a rubber band. Okay? This particular rubber band that I'm looking for is located on a line attachment tab. I've got it attached to the C center line attachment tab. It's actually the center right line attachment tab. So I have my A's, my B's, my C's, my D's are up here a little bit. These are all my upper control lines. So I'm looking for the center right C line attachment tab. I'm just going to Lark's head a rubber band on there. I'm using, in this case, a full large rubber band that's been cut in half. So direct control is exactly that. I'm going to hold directly onto the slider. Now, why do I need to do that? Well, I'm trying to keep the slider up at the bottom of the stabilizers as long as I can to provide a slower opening and to provide control. We do not want the slider to be moving down the lines while line stretch is still going on. We want to let line stretch get complete and then have the slider move down the lines. So one way to do that is to hold onto the slider directly. I'll pull it up. I'll put a little nub in the end, and then I will wrap the rubber band. In this case, 2 times. Yeah, if I knew I was getting really fast openings, my openings were really fast, I could, especially with a large rubber band, I could even take a 3rd wrap. And that's going to provide direct control. It's going to help keep this slider up to the base of the stabilizers until line stretch is complete, and in fact until a little bit of inflation starts, and then pretty soon it can't hold on anymore. It'll let go and the slider can come down. So this is direct control of the slider. The asymmetric control, which we have here, which is just on one side, is personally what I use most of the time, anytime I have a slider in play. What I'd like to show you now is a symmetrical control. So right now it's asymmetric because we're only on one side. It's all being taken to this one side, which happens to be the right side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install a rubber band now on the left side of the same line group, the C's. So I'm going to use a tool here and never put your tools back on the pack job. And so now I've got 2 rubber bands. They're symmetrically placed. One's on the right side of the center line attachment tab and the other one's on the left side. And now I will take some of the slider and put it in the right side and some of the slider and put it in the left side, and this will keep it symmetrical. So again, I'll take a little bite over there and take 2 bites there and get this side, the little nub, and I'll take 2 wraps of the rubber band on this side. So now I'm symmetrically holding on to the slider. I've got a bite on each side. So this would be a symmetric direct control of the slider. Okay, for indirect slider control, we're going to use the rubber band that is found between the canopy and the tail pocket. If you go right in between here, you'll find a stow, and if it doesn't have a rubber band on it, let's put a rubber band there. And indirect control is just that. We're not going to hold onto the slider directly. We're going to hold onto the lines just below the slider. So this will be indirectly controlling the slider. So to get a nice bite of line, let's go down a little ways. Don't get it real tight up here. We're going to come down here a little bit so that we can get a bite of line. And it's going to finish right here. We'll retrieve that rubber band And with a full-size rubber band, I would easily take 2 wraps. Got a nice clean stow, a bite of line, and then we're going to tuck this bite between the 2 surfaces, between the canopy and the tail pocket, so we really can't even see it. From that point forward, you're going to stow your lines like you always would. Just back and forth, S folds, till your lines are all stowed. So that single bite of line is indirect control. So there you have it, controlling your slider both directly and indirectly. If you like the full-length version of our packing DVD, you can find it online at apexbase.com. We'll see you at the exit point.